In our crazy, spread-out digital world, we're making sensitive stuff all the time. API keys, passwords, you name it. But as everything gets bigger and more complex, all these secrets get scattered all over the place, and that creates a massive security blind spot. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the tool that was built to fix this exact problem: HashiCorp Vault.
Okay, let's get right into it. To really get why Vault is such a big deal, you first have to understand the problem it was born to solve. And trust me, it's a headache that pretty much every modern tech company is dealing with. It's called secret sprawl.
Just think about it for a second. You've got credentials hard-coded right into the source code, API keys just sitting in plain old configuration files, database passwords floating around in environment variables, and this is happening across hundreds, maybe thousands of servers and microservices. Every single one of those is like leaving a key under the doormat for an attacker. So yeah, it's not just messy, it's a gigantic, unmanaged security risk just waiting to blow up.
And that really leads to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? If someone asked you to map out every single secret your company uses right this second, could you actually do it? For most of us, if we're being honest, the answer is a big, fat no. And that uncertainty, that's what keeps security folks up at night. It's the exact chaos Vault was designed to tame.
So you've got all this chaos. How do you fight it? Well, you bring in some order. Let's take a look at how HashiCorp Vault acts as this powerful, centralized fortress to deal with this sprawling mess.
Instead of having thousands of keys scattered all over the place, Vault basically builds a single, high-security digital fortress. It becomes the one and only source of truth. This gives you one central place to store, to manage, and, importantly, to audit access to every single secret. Every request, every response, it's all logged. And that creates an audit trail that is absolute gold for compliance and, figuring out what went wrong if something does. And this is why Vault is so much more than just a digital safe. It's really a foundational piece for modern security. For one, it enables a zero-trust approach, which basically means it trusts no one and verifies everything. It doesn't care if a request is coming from inside the network, it's going to check the identity every single time. And for DevSecOps, wow, it's a game changer. It automates secrets management right inside your development pipelines, so security becomes part of the process from the get-go instead of being a roadblock at the end.
Okay, so that all sounds pretty great in theory, right? But how does Vault actually do all this stuff? Let's dig into the core features that really make it so powerful.
This right here is one of Vault's true superpowers. It's a total paradigm shift. Instead of using those old-school static passwords that, if they get stolen, can be used forever, Vault generates credentials on the fly, just when they're needed. An app needs to talk to a database? Bam! Vault creates a unique username and password that's only good for a few minutes.
And here's the beautiful part. The whole process is completely automated. An application asks for access, Vault whips up a new credential with a short lifespan, or lease. The app uses it, and once that time is up, Vault just automatically revokes it. Gone. The window of opportunity for an attacker shrinks from months or years down to minutes. Even if a secret gets compromised, it becomes totally useless almost immediately.
But wait, there's more. Vault's power doesn't stop there. All the data is encrypted before it's ever written to storage, so the storage system itself never sees the raw secrets. It can also act as an encryption as a service engine, which is amazing because it handles all the complicated crypto stuff so your developers don't have to. And, crucially, access is based on trusted identities, like a Kubernetes service account or a GitHub user, not some static IP address. This gives you incredibly fine-grained control over who gets what.
All right, let's get practical. Adopting a tool this powerful means you've got to make some important decisions about how you set it up, and you need to understand where it fits in the wider market. So let's talk about the real-world side of things.
One of the very first choices you'll face is where Vault is going to store all its encrypted data. You can use its built-in storage, which is way simpler to get up and running, or you can use an external system like Console. And this is a classic trade-off, right? Do you go for the operational simplicity of having it all in one box, or do you prefer the architectural separation of keeping your data on a completely different system? Now, Vault isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. The free open-source community edition is incredibly powerful and a great place to start. But for big companies, the enterprise version adds really critical features for things like governance, disaster recovery, and managing things at massive scale. And then, for anyone who wants all that power without the headache of running it themselves, there's HCP Vault, the fully managed version in the cloud. Okay, we have to talk about the license. This was a big deal.
In August 2023, HashiCorp switched from a standard open-source license to the more restrictive Business Source License, the BSL. Now, for most people just using Vault, this changes nothing, but it basically prevents competitors from offering Vault as a service. This move definitely stirred the pot in the open-source community, and it's made people ask some hard questions about long-term vendor lock-in.
And of course, Vault isn't living in a bubble. It's got competition. You've got your cloud-native tools like AWS Secrets Manager, which is fantastic if you live and breathe AWS, but it definitely locks you into their ecosystem. Then you have platforms like CyberArk Conjur, which have a long history in managing access for humans. Vault's biggest strength, really, is that it's cloud agnostic. It's built for those complex hybrid environments where you've got a little bit of everything.
So where is this all going? Let's zoom out for a minute and look at the horizon, because the whole world of secrets management is changing faster than ever.
There are really three huge trends shaping what's next. First, the absolute explosion of machine identities. We're talking IoT devices, AI models, microservices. They all need identities. Second, there's a big push to go secretless, using clever cryptography to create verifiable identities that get rid of passwords and API keys altogether. And then, way out on the horizon, you've got the quantum threat, which means we'll eventually need a whole new generation of encryption to stay safe.
And that first point about machine identities, that's not some far-off future thing. It's here now. Today, well over 80% of all things trying to access your systems are machines, not people. That just makes manually managing this stuff completely impossible. You have to have automated, identity-based tools like Vault. It's not a nice-to-have anymore, it's essential.
So, where does that leave all of us? Look, getting a handle on a tool like Vault is the absolute key first step to taming the secret sprawl we have today. But it also gets you ready for what's coming next in security. And it leads to the ultimate question you should be asking yourself. Are you just building an infrastructure to manage secrets? Or are you building a foundation for a future where you might not need secrets at all?